Call to order this meeting, and I'd like to have an approval of the agenda. I didn't have any changes. Did anyone have any changes to the agenda? No?
No.
Okay, I'll take a motion.
Move that we approve the agenda.
Second.
And it is approved.
So you wanna
Oh,
vote?
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thanks. All right, Jen, you're up. I'll transfer
Oh,
to you now that you're getting here.
so we did the approval of the,
Agenda. No,
Agenda?
minutes.
now the minutes. Does anyone have any changes to the minutes that they didn't already notify? Nope. Motion,
I move that we approve the agenda as written.
minute,
Oh, sorry, the minutes as written. Thank you.
Second.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
None opposed? All right, so, no administrative session items. So we will move on to our legislative sessions. We have two of them relating to a land use map change and also a zoning change. Will you be presenting those, Josh, or Carla? Okay, you're up.
I thought you were the new attorney, so.
No, I just sit over there and try to channel my inner John. My inner John Penrod. Josh always tells me, think what John would do, and then dial it back just a little, and you're good. So, all right, here we go. So tonight we have two items. The first one, they're both regarding the same parcel. This parcel is owned by Elio Viana, and he made a request for a general plan land use map amendment. This is the subject property. You can kind of, it's not very well scoped out, but 50 West State Street coming in. And then, so in the current general plan that we are under right now, the 2011 general plan, this area, and this little star is kind of covers up the entire area that this parcel is in, but so you kind of have an idea of where the parcel is on the general plan future land use map. As you can see, the area here is gray, which is indicated as light to be an industrial use. Then we have the pale yellow, which is low density residential. This darker kind of tannish is the medium density residential. Pink is a commercial. And then this kind of the basic yellow is your medium low density. Now this is what is in our 2011 general plan. When this property came into the city, there was a home that was built in 1941. That property as a single family residence, and it was on the property when it was annexed into the city. At that time, this was the edge of Springville. It was kind of we certainly didn't anticipate the extension of the city boundaries to where they are now. And so it went along that this would come into the city as a industrial area, even though there were other single family residents that existed at the time. Now, one of the things we looked at when making a determination of whether or not to support this was what our 2011 general plan says. And looking primarily at the overall land use goal is to create safe, functional, and attractive community that preserves the best of our past and shapes our future development in a way that benefits the people of our community. One of the corresponding economic development goals is to provide adequate and appropriately located land for manufacturing and industrial uses that contribute to the economic well-being and livability of Springville City, including, so when looking at designating industrial uses, we would look at access to major arterials, to train tracks, the ease of ingress and egress, all of those things in looking to determine where industrial property should go. This property no longer is, it's not near our arterials. 400 South and I-15 did not exist at the time that this was designated. You're using mainly Highway 89 as the main arterial corridor. But now, because of the difficulty of where 50 West is located, and with SR 51, really the only way to get out of that area is to make a left-hand turn at a non-signalized intersection. So certainly not conducive for moving large trucks and industrial materials out of there. So the next thing we looked at is, since we are in the midst of doing a general plan update, looking at how this area is treated within the new general plan draft. And this is, once again, a zoomed in location, with the star being the approximate location of the parcel. And the coloring and definitions have changed a little bit. The orange area is what is called in the new draft plan the emerging neighborhood. Cities of the newest opportunity. This is the city's newest opportunity for growth with a blend of housing types and densities. And a lot of that is because this is where the majority of undeveloped land is, to the southwest and west. The mint green here is your contemporary neighborhood. These are the most recently built communities, offering diverse mix of housing types and traditional neighborhood development patterns. Then you have the brown is the original Springville Plat A, kind of described as the heart of Springville. The yellow here is our transitional neighborhoods. Those are located between the historic core and other residential areas. And then this right here is just an open space area. So looking at that, this area would, and the parcel that is up for discussion tonight would be part of a residential area. Whoops, went too far. And so along with that, we looked at, of course, the use of it as a single-family home for a long period of time. The planned development to the west includes additional residential development with the property that is owned by LHM. And so it fits with the ongoing plans for the change of this neighborhood as we go through the general plan update. This is kind of just a vestige of the old properties as they came into the town, and like I said, from when this was the edge of our community rather than kind of the southern heart. So does that make it like the kidney? Anyway, yeah. So based upon this analysis, the staff felt that this is, requesting this rezone is in line with the intention of the general plan. Both the former the general plan that is in right now, 2011, in that this area is not conducive to the light industrial manufacturing designation, and now it has changed in character to the residential. That's all I got for you.
Any questions? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
And I'm guessing you're the petitioner. Are you Mr. Viana? Do you have anything that you want to add? Okay. Since this is a legislative item, we will open a public hearing. If you have any comments, please come to the front.
Seeing that no one's approaching for a public hearing, I motion that we close it.
We have a motion and a second from Ed. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All righty. None opposed. Any discussion on it?
Seems straightforward.
I think the only thing is isn't that the side of the railroad that's going to be moved to the east, or is it the east that's going to move to there?
John, can't tell me because I can never remember what railroad's going where.
it's not really impacted by that as much. The railroad is actually across the street, 50 west from this property, but that rail, the western rail, goes east. But it's
But
across.
the west rail is the one that's going to move to the east?
Correct. The rail is consolidated into the east alignment.
Yeah, it just seemed kind of straightforward.
Yep.
As far as overall plan and what's going to be happening with Larry H. Miller and everything out there. So
Josh, what is the pink color?
Yep.
Oh, on this map?
Yeah.
Yeah, but what do we call it? I mean, it is commercial. I just don't remember the exact draft name we've given that place type.
commercial retail.
Is that just the changes just to this piece of property or for everything out in that?
Yeah, we're not recommending any changes. Carla's just referencing an image from our current working draft to say that it's in line with the thinking where we are currently in our in progress draft. We're not going to come to you later in the year with a general plan that says we should be doing something totally different here.
Gotcha. Okay, thank you. So, entertain motions.
Oh, yeah.
I move to recommend we approval of the amendment to the Springville's general plan land use map to designate parcel 226.031.0063 as low-density residential.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? No. All right.
Now we have part two. So, along with the general plan amendment, Mr. Viana has now asked for the zoning to actually be changed on it. This gives a little aerial of the property. See this green area here, which is also owned by Mr. Viana, as the R115. All the area in the purple is the light industrial manufacturing. More R115 here. This goldish color is R2. And then this brown is the end of the North Main Street South Gateway zone. Mr. Viana has met with the city numerous times on this property to determine what can be done with it. Because it is considered a legal non-conforming use as a single-family residential in a light industrial manufacturing zone, he is limited as to being able to expand the single-family residential usage and is not able to, without completely tearing down the home, to expand on it as light industrial, and is not able to, like I said, as a legal non-conforming, not able to develop the property for any additional residential. There are numerous residential properties along this area. Everything with an R has a use as a residential. In fact, these people have a really nice pool. And then residential. These are rentals, but they are still single-family homes. Residential, and then, of course, the subject property. Like I said, this in the previous, this is just a vestige of a time when a lot of this area was agricultural. It was brought into the city as vacant land. There were homes on it that have, most of the homes in this area were all built before 1945 and are all considered legal non-conforming uses. With the rezone of this area, or of this parcel, it will match the parcel behind here and into the development for residential that is planned here and will likely be have an opportunity for some connection with that development. So that's pretty much what we have. So it's just kind of the follow-up from the general plan amendment to actually do a zone map amendment now. Okay.
Thank you. Again, I want to offer if there's anything that you wanted to say. You're good. Okay. All right. We will now open a public hearing. And so if you have any comments or concerns, please come to the front and let us know.
Seeing no one come forward, I move we close the public hearing.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Seconded. And all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Discussion.
Entertain a motion?
Yep.
Okay, I move to recommend approval of a proposed amendment to the official zone map to apply the R115 zone to partial 26-031-0063, located at 886 South, 500 West, Springville, Utah, consisting of 0.75 acre.
A second.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oh,
50
50
West,
West,
excuse me. Thank you.
So there was no one opposed, so we're recommending that forward to the city council. So that's your next step.
Okay.
All right, now we will be hearing about water conservation plan in a second. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay. Hi, guys.
Hey.
Long time no see. How you doing? Okay, so this is kind of my mea culpa. So this of a grant that we received from the Division of Water Resources to help us update our water element of the general plan. The general plan updated by December 2025 when we were in the middle of doing our general plan update. They gave us an extension for till February 28th to and no, because I'm such a great planner as a planner that we're here at the city council is helping us out by holding a special session for them to review this tomorrow. So the other elements, along with transportation and land use and moderate income housing, that now must be included in the, and that was passed last year. No, excuse me, that was passed in 2022 with the deadline of 2025. And the things that the Planning Commission needs to do. So as you go through it is somewhat redundant because it builds a lot off of the water conservation plan that the city also has you address many of the same things that the state statute tells us we have to address as well. And so conservation plan is updated every 5 years. So Public Works will start any updates to that. And then as part of the water master plan, both the drinking water and the culinary water and the pressurized, a lot of the information that is involved in those will help to inform this document as well. Of the pressurized irrigation system within the city, how that operates as a city municipal water system, special service district, and how we coordinate with the irrigation companies. Then 26 drinking water and pressurized irrigation master plan. We have the capacity of our existing there. as well as the water use and per capita. You're required to consider regional conservation goals. So the Provo River region, the state is divided into various, it's what watershed they are in, and we are in the Provo River region, and it is one of the goals for conservation, and much of that is due to the high growth projections for Utah County, Lake County. And so you can see there that the Provo region has a goal is 179 gallons per capita per day, which is, and that our goal is based, is a reduction of 4.89 gallons per day from the, which is the baseline for Springville City. We'll continue to monitor that and adjust it. So in line with what the Provo River region is saying of fairly reductions, we are along with that. We're also looking at the water demand for and one of the many issues that the city faces, along with pretty much every other city along the Wasatch Front and probably in the and growth in areas where infrastructure has not always been and is not in the ground now. What we're facing is, rather than the costs of our systems are increasing because we no longer can work on a gravity flow, we're having to those costs in our system can impact the service level and also opportunities for reducing water demand. Future ERCs. ERCs are equivalent residential, and they are how the Public Works Department looks at commercial. So a commercial creates so many equivalent residential units. 2070 is considered the build out. This is from the 2026 master plan that just came before you, and you'll see what the build out is of various zones within the city. Wastewater and recommendations. So many, what you will be doing is by makes recommendations for water conservation policies, and also looking at landscaping options. We do not have an incentive program for those, but we certainly do not discourage them if the builders come to us so that is what, so that when it says that you shall recommend, those items are included in the document. Also, a recommendation to as part of our zoning rewrite, and looking at possibly wise water landscaping options for initially to start with some commercial properties, and that goes along with the considering principles of sustainable landscaping, including drip systems and the use of pressurized irrigation. Our Public Works, which we have done, as they have drafted both of these, the conservation plan, and have reviewed this conservation document, as well as vision of water resources, which has also reviewed this plan and has helped us along the way with all of these items. So, whoops. So that's what will happen now. You know, you make the recommendation, and then just as you would with any other general plan.
How long have we been on water structure for those with pressurized irrigation? Since its inception, or?
No, and I talked to Tyson. I believe as part of the 22 conservation, it was a recommendation for tiered water usage. And budgets, when I'm looking at the adopted fee schedule, it had the tiered system for people who have they get a discount on their pressurized irrigation water if they, or they get a discount on their culinary if they use the pressurized irrigation. Anyway, yeah, so it's been at least 2 years that we've had a tiered.
Measurable difference?
We could go to Public Works and give you some more information on that for a later
Yeah,
meeting.
and
It's
a lot
really
of that is,
outside of our wheelhouse.
yeah,
Sorry.
right now we don't have all of that in here. And that is something that we would continue to monitor, along with not only that, but a lot of the improvements that have been made for automated reading meters, so that because those are much quicker to pick up water leaks and things like that. So the Public Works has got all of that they track and that they keep an eye on to determine. And we can definitely look at those and get those for you.
What about the incentives? Where do those come from and who pays for them?
We don't.
And the incentives are just they're incentives, and the city would have to determine whether or not they wanted to participate in the Rip Your Strip program. In the past, whether or not the city council wanted to adopt any type of incentives, that would be up to them as a policy decision. But it's just recommending that we consider. So we want you to think about thinking about it.
What about considering reducing I know, Josh, this is a specific issue for you probably, but about reducing the plant strips and then allowing for more land to be opposed to having planter strips that turn into concrete. I mean,
Yes,
That's
once
something
again,
It's actually not legal to put concrete in your planter strip if it's over a certain width. So anything that's been built in the past 25 years is
by the high school, that's all.
be standards. Yeah.
So they can, but they still just put nothing in there. They cannot water it. I'm just thinking that
No, it's something that's come up. We've kind of looked at
seems to me like it's kind of an incentive to create a situation where on one hand, you're saying we want green space, or we want xeriscape, or we want to create this buffer between obviously I've got my own opinion on it, but I'm just wondering if we considered that to be a change in policy that would be an incentive, because that's a lot of, if you take 5 feet or 8 feet, whatever it is, all around the city.
that would be something that the city council would have to consider, and in a case like that, conservation, but walkability and
Agreed.
and keeping
Well, that was one of my questions too, was or recommending that the city council consider landscape options for those park strips. So that is addressed
That's
in this.
so this like everything in a general plans are not what's the word I'm looking for, Josh? Regulatory. Thank you. Oh my gosh. At this time, but right now, all of this general plans and everything in them are simply advisory. And so when we do our land use plan, there's a very good possibility that a lot of these questions will come up. And it will be just a matter of whether the council has a policy decision if they want to just provide options rather than necessarily incentives to do so, and let that dictate how they'll move on that.
That was actually one of my questions, was on these intentionally ambiguous.
Yes.
And knowing that it's not going to come before Planning Commission again through City Council, I would hope that when it says alternate materials instead of lawn or rock everywhere in our planter strips, and
Well,
like
what you have to remember is that it will come back to you if we change.
Yeah, their land use
The-
ordinances.
Yeah, if we're changing the landscape ordinance or we're providing new different material allowances, and those are all amendments to the land use ordinance. Do anything with what you're adopting right now without doing something more.
yeah, because that's more, I guess it's a slippery slope when talking about water conservation and making everything xeriscape and like
Yes,
things
and-
like that. So
Any
Exactly.
specific regulatory changes or code changes will come back
Okay.
to you through
Yeah,
that process.
all of that will come back.
Fills, and then we enjoy it, you know. I mean, as a developer for the last, 25 years, I've been forced to put in 25%. We've put in the landscape, and then the owners of the properties, and a lot of times it's commercial property, they just like let it go. And then just kind of turns into, instead of being able, we're talking about affordability and being able to, like, foot, and so I just was wondering how that all meshes into that, and I'm asking for some help on understanding what are we
Just simply right
what
now,
are we just basically putting some terms in here that like you said, that are vague or whatever else that,
I think, this is established.
I'm asking them to,
yes,
what
and
to
so
tell us.
it is vague on purpose to allow communities to make decisions that are and to allow the city council to have those policy decisions. And so basically you're recommending without any specific requirement or guidelines, that they take adopted and continue to use that as kind of a litmus test for the decisions that they're making and the policy plans and the general plans that are being adopted.
The litmus test is a good statement. You're essentially just creating do something. Hey, these are the considerations we think you should take into account as you make decisions to actually implement programs or code amendments. And it is somewhat perfunctory in that we are meeting and most of this, all of this shows up in other parts of our capital facilities master plans, our water plan, our water conservation plan, but to comply with state law.
Does carry a little more weight than the water conservation plan, simply because the general plan has a statute as an advisory document and for guiding land use decisions. So it does carry a little bit more weight than just the conservation plan. So that's why, and a lot of, we refer to the document we already adopted that you told us we had to write, kind of thing. And so ambiguity, there's duplication, and they said a lot of it is just to simply check the box for the state requirement.
It's the yellow,
Yes, those are the plans those are the areas that, I do not have them up on here, sorry. But they are in the document. Came through, and so those are the kinds of recommendations that you're to have, and you'll see those.
Yeah, that's not something we're changing. That's just Carla highlighting.
Yeah, I just want, because the code it kind of breaks it up when it lays it out. I wanted you to be able to see where those were. So we've taken those and through in the water element of the general plan.
All you're recommending, 2, 3, 4, 6 pages of
the
the
very end, yeah.
water use and preservation element directly behind the staff report. That
Public wanted to see those items, then they could just get on the website or.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, because we didn't post them is why I was asking.
Incorporated into the full document of the painting tomorrow general plan. It will be part of that document as well. We're as far as the state deadlines and also for to comply with the grant.
All right, thank you, Carla.
You bet.
Thank you. All right. As a legislative item, we will open up. And so if you have comments or concerns, please come to the front. Motion from Ann and
Second
a
motion.
second.
Yeah.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right. So that was our last item. Do we have,
That was just closing the public hearing.
thank you, sir.
You're welcome. I don't know, I feel like it's fairly straightforward.
Yes, thank you for all your time you put into this. It's good to comply with the state.
Perfect. Well, if there's
Yep.
no other discussion, I'll make a motion. I move to recommend continued consideration of the water use and preservation element amendment to the general plan to comply with Title 10, Chapter 20, Part 4, Section 404 UCA. I'm one far ahead. That's my bad, Carla. Sorry. Scratch that. Sorry, Heather. A water use and preservation element amendment to the general plan to comply with Title 10, Chapter 20, Part 4, Section 404 UCA.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? None. All right, so that passed.